Hi, my name is Jacob Pushy, and today I'll be discussing with you the Michaelis-Menten equation and walk you all, the audience, through the derivation process, my derivation process, for the Michaelis-Menten equation, starting with the formulas given below. And these formulas are the ones that have been provided for us. First off, we have the V0 max. V0 equals Vmax times S over Km plus X. Secondly, we have Km equals K negative 1 plus K2 over K1. And then we have Vmax equals K2 times ET. And then ET equals E plus ES. For starters, the Michaelis-Menten equation gives us a way of quantifying the effects that change in the substrate concentration. Gives us a way of quantifying the effects that changes in the substrate concentration have over the overall rate of reaction for an enzyme. First off, we're going to assume a reaction equation where the enzyme and the substrate bind reversibly, not irreversibly, and then go on to form a product. Secondly, we'll assume an initial reaction so that there is little product which makes the second back reaction negligible, which I have shown here. That being E plus S reversibly yields ES yields E plus P, with the reactant being K1 in this yield reversibly, and then irreversibly K2. K1 here is the rate constant of the forward first step, and also K1 is the rate constant of the backward first step as well. And then lastly, K2 is the rate constant of the second step, which I have written here in step 1. Alright, and then my second part of this derivation, the initial rate of the reaction is written here, that being V0 equals K2 times ES. And so the issue is that we can't know ES because it forms during the reaction. However, we can make the steady state assumption that it is a low concentration that doesn't change because the rate of its formation is equal to the rate of its breakdown. And that can be represented here. K1 times ES equals K negative 1 times ES plus K2 times ES. And that's number 3 right there of our derivation. So nonetheless, we still don't know E, which is the concentration of free enzyme. However, since some of the enzyme is bound, we know that the sum of the free and bound enzyme is equal to the total enzyme concentration, which is being represented here in part 4. That being ET equals E plus ES. Next, we will substitute the total enzyme into the steady state equation, which we labeled in number 2, that being V0 equals K2 times ES, and rearrange it to solve for ES, as written here in number 5. So we have K1 times this ET minus ES times S equals K negative 1 times ES plus K2 times ES, which then becomes K1 times ET times S equals parentheses K1 times S plus K negative 1 plus K2 parentheses times ES, which then becomes ES equals K1 times ET times S over K negative 1 plus K2 plus K1 times S. Alright. And then next, in the 6th part, we'll rearrange the expression so that we can isolate the rate constant, and then after replace the constants with a new constant, which is called the Michaelis constant, or Km. And this I have pictured here, which is ES equals ET times S over K negative 1 plus K2 over K1 plus S. Okay. Which then becomes ES equals ET times S over Km plus S. And then as we can see here, Km equals negative K1 plus K2 over K1. That's just for reference there. Okay. All right, we're starting to near the end. So as we near the end of our derivation of the equation, we now will substitute the value of ES into the rate equation given in equation 1 that I will show you all right now. E plus S reversibly yields ES yields with K2 E plus P. Okay. K2 can also be referenced as the catalytic constant, that being Kcat, since it represents the rate constant for the reaction. And this step I have written here. V0 equals K2 times ET times S over Km plus S, which then equals Kcat times ET times S over Km plus S. Alright, and then lastly, the maximum velocity Vmax is equal to the total enzyme concentration time times the catalytic constant. We will substitute the Vmax into this equation now to get the final form of the Michaelis-Menten equation, which I have written here for you all. That being VO equals Vmax times S over Km plus S. So that is our final form of the Michaelis-Menten equation, and my derivation being V0 equals Vmax times S over Km plus S. And then just for reference, Vmax equals Kcat times ET. All right. So that is the derivation of the Michaelis-Menten equation in its final form. Thank you guys for watching. Please post your questions and comments below. Thanks again, guys.